guys? What's up? This is NSL. This is not our normal podcast. We are doing them Tuesdays at 9:30 as scheduled. It's kind of an emergency one because we had a little development. Pretty much EA lied to us, which, let's be honest, we all probably saw that coming. They said They said September. They never said mid-September. Let me say they did say September was when the update was scheduled to come out, but now they bumped that back to mid-October for the scouting update. And
I'm in this bitch.
oh shit! Did you? And the Juggernaut just enters like the Juggernaut would.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So catch me up. What's up?
Well, we just started, man. I was just explaining why we're here. So we need to be here. There's the waiting. There's two sides. We can wait till October 5th. We'll say 15th. It's the middle of October. We can wait. Hopefully, get this legitimate scout. If it is as promised, it's not a perfect scouting update. We know it's EA. That's never going to be, but it is a vastly improved product. Who I think is one of the worst parts about the Madden franchise, and that's scouting.
I agree.
If we don't wait, we start now. We get to go ahead and start playing some games. And let's be honest, we're all waiting. We've already waited 2-3 weeks now, and tournaments. We've done our tournament. Played some 3v3. We want to get playing. So let me go ahead and before we start with who's here, let me say the people who aren't here have given me some things to say. Magic, not sure what's going on with him. His phone is messed up or something. But he did send me on Xbox today that he thinks we should wait because the scouting update should be that significant. Rabbit, who is going to listen to this tomorrow, he couldn't be here tonight. He's 50-50. He hasn't decided one way or the other. He thinks the scouting update, like it should be significant, but he's also worried that A, will it drop on time, and B, will it drop without bugs?
It's gonna have bugs. We know that.
That's fair.
I agree. It's EA. It's gonna have bugs. It's not gonna be perfect.
Yeah, it's definitely not. But
we're gonna see two iterations of this guaranteed before the cycle's over.
I think the big if it has bugs, as long as we have it in our league, the bugs that they do fix, we'll be able to take advantage of those.
Yeah.
Yes, you do have a point there for sure.
Like, I'm not sure I said it here. I did say here. The scouting update, I think, is the worst part about the franchise. It's the most boring. It's lame. There's nothing exciting about it. It almost kills the entire concept. You don't have I think with the improved scouting system, you might actually have a connection with some players rather than just, I pressed A on this guy 3 times and he had A+ throw power. He's my quarterback, So
I think one of the big things for me too is that while as much as scouting only takes 3 minutes or whatever, let's all be realistic. There's weeks where you only have 45 minutes to hop on and barely get through a game before you just got shit to do because you got a life. And the current system punishes people that can't actually delve into scouting because you lose half your points every week you don't use them.
Well, even with the new scouting system, they have check marks like week 1, I think week 5. It's not every week per se.
There's like 4 check marks, but other than that, they've said you can basically, even with the check mark system, there's a set and forget aspect to it where you can set it up week 1 and just run it through the end of the season.
Of course, Josh. Sorry, Josh does this. All right.
What I do?
You put us all in trees, Josh. You know exactly what
I didn't do that.
All right. But yeah, okay. I didn't know that was a thing. I honestly haven't read.
I think that's me.
I read till October 15th, and then I was so middle of October, and I was so disappointed that I kind of skimmed over it. Let me say that. But I do know I read the first post, and I know what's supposed to be in it, and it seemed like it was generally the same stuff. I didn't know per se about that, but Jug, let's get your thoughts. You're very vocal about this, man. You're a veteran of the league. You've been here. Me and you played Madden together since before NSL, and I think since before Clutch. So we've been together a while.
My kid is now 13, and I think we met before she was born.
Probably true. That's probably true.
It's crazy, man. So I'm gonna tell you guys, man, it's difficult for me because I can play either way. You know what I'm saying? Either way I can go. But the thing is, I feel torn in these type of instances because of the fact that we're a community at the end of the day, right? And the community can get split real easily over a restart or a or something like this. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like some folks will be like, "Cool, I'm down with restarting if we start now," or "I'm down with just keep going and just playing this game the way it's is given to us." And then they start out 0-6. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, "Yo, man, let's do the restart." People kind of have agendas sometimes. I I do believe that Madden will give us a unfinished product every year, and I'm always prepared for things like this mentally. I know that when it comes down to something like this, though, like waiting would be our best option for me if I'm gonna take this thing to August. You know, but
We're not.
if
Say
we're
this.
not
We're not.
to August, I think we just go ahead and pull the trigger. But that's and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm 60-40 even with that, so I'm pulling the trigger, but I'm 60-40 with that.
Yeah. Like I said, we're not restarting no matter what. Whatever we decide tomorrow, that's
what
we're going with. If we decide to wait, we're waiting. That sucks. Wait. If we decide to start, we're not restarting when the thing comes out, no matter how awesome it's gonna be. It's just gonna be how we're gonna roll. Or it might not be awesome. We might start, and then it comes out and everybody's like, this shit sucks, and we're like, oh, thank God we started. BM, do you have any you're next on the list here? You got a thought on this?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Jug. I mean, I'm ready to start, but I understand that everybody waiting for like their rookies to go up, kind of, because with all the players are just, I mean, for Mac Jones, I think he's go up a little bit, but
Yeah,
I
waiting for Mac
understand, but
to get better is not an acceptable reason to wait.
no, I understand that, but everybody's waiting for like the scouting and everything. Then like the little tweak of like their players, because some players are not doing good, some players are. But either way, I'm ready to go. It just sucks that we're waiting this long. Like I've been playing with Jug for what? I'm pretty sure we started in virtual sports. That was
Yes,
a way back day. And
yeah, you've been for a while too, BM.
I mean, I feel like at this point I'm ready to pull no matter what. Like I want to play. It just stinks right now. We're waiting, and it's just going to push our games back more and more.
I will say I don't think either choice is going to break up our league. I think whatever side, I think we got pretty strong as a league. I don't think anybody's going to throw a hissy fit, get angry, or leave.
I mean, like, I'm just talking about the seasons wise. I mean, it's going to get to one point, later in the season, like we're going to go into the summer more. That usually that's our off season kind of.
Well,
I'm not sure about that because obviously I think things change, especially it's a console, and I mean I think it was expected anyway. Things like this.
Are we doing 4 seasons?
Yeah, that's the thing. Now, we would only expect 4 seasons if this is the case, just because it pushes back so long. So we technically would finish sooner. But if the scouting is good and people are having fun, this Madden might actually have. I think some open Maddens will be different for a change. We don't usually have a wide open offensive Madden. People wanting to play a 5th season, and we can just do that. And we'll still finish 3 months before the next Madden, and we'll still have our break. So the plan will be 4. We'll see how it's going year 1, year 2, how activity goes year 3, and then we'd make a decision. Obviously, probably year 3, and see how activity's going, so we would know for draft picks going forward. But worst case scenario, we go 4. Which year 5 is terrible, and that's something we're really going to work on this year. I think that's my number 1 personal goal is year 5 to do better as a league. Wasted?
Yep.
What do you got, man? Your thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm with waiting. Like I said, I want to try to experience the best possible product that we can. I don't think it's that much of a rush. If it is, then that's fine too. But I'm on the wait side.
That's true. We've been playing the same thing. Honestly, if we start now, the difference between what we did last year and what we're doing now is minimal.
Yeah.
It's next gen. The gameplay is a little bit different, but besides that,
Except for the fact that the defense don't play, there's not much difference.
yeah. So there is something to be said for waiting and getting the best possible product.
That is
I
one thing too that they've said they're going to patch in the next title update is they're going to start putting out patches for the defense. Now, EA being EA, they've already said they're going to work one coverage at a time because I guess 1 month isn't enough time to fix all of the issues, which is very EA of them. But
honestly, deep blues and flats, if they could just get those to play those two, the defense isn't bad. I mean,
yeah, the one thing that sucks is they basically said so they're going to fix cover 3 first, which makes it sound like they're not going to fix the deep zones and the flats in cover 2. They're only going to fix them in cover 3, and then they'll do cover 2.
yeah.
But which is again very EA to not just fix all of their game and just fix some of it. But
Why would they do that when we buy it anyway?
yeah,
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
really what
Alright.
it comes down to, y'all. I mean, think about it. Apple don't put a charger in the phone no more because we're still gonna buy that joint, right? You know what I'm saying? Next
Right.
episode, we're not gonna have nothing. They're just gonna have a box that says Apple.
It's the only option if we want to play NFL games. So
I'm just waiting for the day that they charge us for the weekly roster updates.
That's coming. Don't give them no ideas now.
I'm just
Oh
waiting.
yeah,
for
don't send that into EA.
As soon as they
It's
show
going to be
full franchise.
mutt teams now.
Crips, what are your thoughts on this, man? Wait, start. What do you?
I'm largely in favor of waiting. I mean, at this point, the weight we've put into this point is definitely a sunk cost, but at the same time, we have waited as long as we have, and realistically speaking, you're waiting 3-4 more weeks. Hopefully, we'd get more updates to the rest of the game as well. So hopefully, the game in and of itself is more enjoyable. Because I mean, you can only play so many 42 to 35 games where your defense just doesn't do what you ask it to before you just get frustrated and don't want to play Madden. But
Clint, compare the defense, how the defense is playing normally on 4-minute online ranked games. Like, dude, that score is for 4-minute ranked games. You don't see the problem with the 24.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, that and the fact that he was comparing Joe Schmo couch quarterbacks that can't throw a football 10 yards to actual NFL quarterbacks when it comes to interception rates. That was the one. That was a good one.
has everybody? Are you 100% sure everybody's gotten the Xbox already as well? That's another reason.
let me say that everyone has told me they've gotten an Xbox. So
That's a good way to phrase it.
If anybody is not looking to go Series X right away and they're just trying to get into the next gen game and looking for a Series S, holla at Jug, man. I can find you one, man. We got a lot of them up here in Seattle.
I think the Series S's, it looks like, have become pretty common. It's just the X's that are still kind of hard to get a hold of.
What's the difference?
The S is like it's like a 0.5 version of the X, basically.
no difference, especially if all you play is Madden. There's no difference.
Yeah, you'll notice it more with like first-person shooters and stuff and shit that's got that you would want a higher graphics and frame rate for and everything.
Yeah.
It also doesn't have a disk drive, but I don't know that many people that use discs anymore.
I will say I've seen about 90% of our league has played a game with me, or I've seen them play, or they've asked other people to play. So I think 90% of our league is good. We also got Grace Windu back today in the fold. I saw him playing Series X on my friends list, and I'm like, hey, I got to get, just in case something happens, let's get one of the Grace back in. So we'll see. Hopefully most of us have it, and they didn't just lie to me just to lie. But yeah, that's a good point. If you don't have a Series S yet, it would be beneficial to wait. Trending, what you got, man? Trending not here? Trending is here. All right.
I was gonna say, what's
TRC,
the
is that you?
Xbox?
TRC. I saw one of them. All right. Josh. Josh, you're an admin. What do you got here? Let's go.
So I'm going to always assume the worst when it comes to EA. I don't think this patch is going to be worth shit, and I think it's going to be broken. And I think we're all going to be super disappointed that we waited 6-7 weeks for it. So I'm going to always take the most pessimistic view when it comes to EA because that's usually the most correct one. None of the features they've added that we were all excited for are worth a shit, and they're all broken. So why would this one be any different?
I don't think we'll be bad though. I think we'll be happy to play.
I would say one thing that people do need to realize is that while some aspects are going to be different, I mean, generally speaking, there are a lot of similarities. It's just you have a way to access more detail, which could definitely disappoint people that don't look into it enough. To kind of go back to your point, July, of guys that like may have, clicked on the article, seen October 15th, and then, just kind of skim the rest of it.
Well, there are some changes. Let me go through some things that are in there. Is they're going to have the little scouting update. So throws a wobbly ball, throws a spiral. It has the little. If any of you played NCAA 14, it gives you. It's not as detailed as NCAA 14. Let me say that. NCAA 14 was the prime what we expected. We're not getting that. We're getting probably a diet version of that. So we do get that little list of things they do good. Accelerates from the pocket really well, stuff like that. Catches everything thrown to them. We're going to get stuff like that. And then we're going to have, instead of just 3 things, we'll have everything depending on how much you scout. 10 goes by percentages, 10 all the way up to 100. So if you're 10%, you get the bare minimum. If you're 100%, you get everything, letter grades, like all their stats. So you'll know in detail who this guy is. We're not going to have, if you scout a guy fully, you're not going to be surprised when he runs a 4.8, theoretically. And can't.
It also tells you a lot of that physical stuff in year now, rather than waiting to the combine. Now it's basically like a letter grade rather than the actual combine time, but it does do that. And
basically you're getting pro day.
Yeah, you get combine and pro day, and I think it's like you don't find out the archetype until like 70% either. So like you won't know if a guy's a run supporting safety or a zone safety until you know most of his ratings.
So I got a question. And I feel like if we wait till then, we might even be playing a totally different game than what we have in front of us now, right?
Yeah.
So we went to
theoretically.
We went to a couple of vets. I want to hear from a guy. I respect you guys, all you guys, but Diego, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know, like, you're a sharp guy, so I want to hear your thoughts on this too.
All right, this is the thing. If we wait, right? Let's say it comes out with crazy October 1st, right? We're probably gonna only get 4 seasons anyway, because as it is right now, we know the 5th season is rough. People just kind of die out, and that's why July said before that he's gonna try to do something to vamp up that 5th season to bring interest to the league. So if we wait and it comes out October 15th, October 30th, and let's say it's flawed, it's really bad, well, we gave up a season. But either way, as it is right now, basically we're gonna give up a season anyway, because we're already starting late. Yeah, we might play 5 seasons if we start Monday, but it's gonna start weaning into like June or something, right? July, I think.
Only technically, as of Wednesday, is a week late. So right now is a week and 1. So we would be on week 4 of our season had we started on a normal time of a week 1. So we're 4 weeks behind, like 4 Madden weeks behind.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that the wait is I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. Nobody knows. But we got to see what the wait is going to bring us. Okay? The wait's going to bring us 4 seasons, regardless if it's good or bad. It's 4 seasons, because no one's going to play all the way into the June. It's not going to happen. So, if we're okay with 4 seasons, then you just wait it out. And if you don't get what you want, you got 4 seasons anyway. Because you got to remember the conclusion is 4 seasons, regardless if it's good or bad, whenever it comes out. That's
True.
what I.
Taylor, what you got, Taylor? Is he gone? Okay, then he left us. Well, we've heard from everybody. I gotta say, nobody's convinced me one way or the other. Rabbit's also gonna watch this tomorrow, and so Matt, he's not around right now, so it's hard for him to have a input in this. So it's probably gonna be between me, Rabbit, and Josh. We haven't made a decision yet, and everybody's made very good points. And I feel like honestly, all of y'all feel just the same way. You're probably all, none of y'all are over 60% one way or the other, if I had to guess, right?
Yeah.
I'm like 85% weight, to be honest.
Okay, well, we got one.
Yeah, but Josh is 85% don't weigh, right, Josh?
Yeah, I think he's. It sounds like he's pretty heavy in the don't weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's going to be broken, and it's just going to be a league killer when we waited this whole time, and we're getting a broken scouting system, and we may not even find out it's broken until halfway through our season. So it may not even be something we can swap out from. There could be something simple as like, oh, if this quarterback throws a tight spiral, he's a superstar dev, and then it's just like, who cares at that point?
So something else that I know one of my other leagues is talking about doing, to bring up Diego's point that, realistically, when we're sitting here, we're teetering on the boundary right now of 4 seasons, regardless of whether or not we wait. I know one of my other leagues is they're starting a placeholder league with the current scouting system that they're just deleting and refreshing with every roster update. That way, if the new update is shit, they can at least
You'll have the option.
They'll have the option of the old system with the rosters.
You don't have to do that. They're going to give you both options.
From what I've seen, that's not the case. It's
I just read it yesterday. That's what it said.
It said that you would have the option to continue with your current leagues. Are you referring to the article?
Yeah.
Yeah, the article says you have the option to continue with your current leagues with the old system or restart for the new system.
I don't like that idea because A, it's a restart, and B, even if we restarted and simmed everybody's records the same, the development for those, that would be about 12 weeks worth of development.
Well, no, they're not restarting. They're basically, it's just a play that nobody's joining. They're just creating the league with the old scouting system and keeping it, preseason week 1. And then in case scouting shit. And then we have the old system, since from the way the article was phrased, at least my understanding and everyone I've talked to this point's understanding is that you won't have access to it because, I've never known EA to keep 2 systems of something like that in the game. They're rewriting the code.
That's crazy. Such little faith that you're willing to create a whole league. Taylor, we haven't heard from you, man. You hear
it takes 10 seconds to do.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Now we can. Go ahead. What was you didn't really have any input for? What you got, man?
In PML, we kind of chose to wait for it, but right now we're kind of at the point where, like, what do we do for a month? Because one, it's gonna, like, all the interest and excitement that comes out with Madden coming out is already gonna go away, and we've already done 2 tournaments. We've kind of had the thought of let's do like a little test league where we can run it, but no one's gonna really do that outside of like 6 people. So
I can tell you that's true.
So we're trying to find a way to keep people involved until it comes out. But I guess my fear is that we're going to wait for it. It's going to, 1, either be delayed and not happen. 2, when it does, there's going to be bugs. And like, I would see less here, but like what was mentioned earlier, there's going to be something that's like, oh, quarterback has this trait. It always relates to a superstar. And I know in PML, everyone's going to find that out, and it's going to be an issue going forward.
But devs, you can also find out actually through scouting. So that's not necessarily a hidden thing per se anymore. I saw that was in the thing where you could.
He's talking about like a week 1 way to find out, or a week 4.
Yeah, like no time.
Just a glitch, just an oversight on their part with coding.
Yeah.
Like how we had the 1 year where it showed, like when people would be drafted, you could tell their development if they flex or if they did 2 flexes. Like that, they always put things in there that kind of end up doing that. So that's one thing where I'm worried about. But I mean, in my league, we're waiting for it. I would want to wait for it, but really worried with EA, and I think they're going to mess it up because they always do.
I mean, to also say the scouting system isn't built from the ground up; they're taking it from NHL. So
why is it taking this long?
I don't know, man. I feel like that should be a cut and paste kind of thing.
Well, keep in mind, basically everything we get, we already get from FIFA as is, and it takes them a whole year to put it in after they put it in FIFA. So that's been a mainstay for 5 or 6 years now. So
Yeah.
I mean, leave it to
I have
EA
to
to
say
take
this
forever
too.
for that.
Just like how many people live and die for scouting? Like, is this going to change the fact that someone started 0-16 and they're like, wow, this new scouting system has got me really involved and invested in Madden again? Or are they going to go 0-16 and just not care about Madden still?
I think the latter. But that for the, I'd say it's not necessarily going to improve anybody's record. It's not going to make it. I think it might improve drafting for some people because it's going to have a lot more information. And but as far as records go, we play who we are who we are. Sometimes we get hot and make Super Bowls like me and Wasted, and sometimes we go 3-13 like I did one year.
I'm not even
I always have a losing season the first
I'm
season.
just talking about like what kind of
Wasted always
excitement it brings.
loses.
I literally don't play the game until the first game of the season, ever.
Well,
I got Madden. I haven't played one game yet.
You have Mahomes. You could throw this ball all over the field this year and not just run.
That's what you think.
It's all right. It's all right. I only played one game, and that was against Josh, and I beat him. So I guess
I was
that's the
trying
only
to
game I
hit
need him
stick
with,
your
right?
linebacker.
Josh,
think
it
that-
it's
It was
okay.
a fun game.
See, and
We were
the
playing. It was a good time.
Texans 30. That was not the Vikings.
And by the way, you can't truck linebackers with your quarterback. I tried many
You learned the
times.
hard way.
Tyrod Taylor trucked Myles Garrett today.
Damn.
He did. Yeah, my team did not play up to snuff. It's all right. Probably the last time I'm not using Vikings. So on to my slow ass Vikings, ready to build them bad boys up. Like the more I think about it, I think we're gonna try and go 5 seasons regardless. So I'm not sure if 4 seasons is it, but we might. That's all gonna have to be some. We definitely want to go for 5 seasons because that's who we're built for. I know
will
that.
say that you have diminished value from scouting if you only do 4 seasons, because now you're losing a season of scouting.
Yeah,
Well,
and then it's
sorry.
what?
Even that, sometimes like some people don't take off until like later in the seasons too. 'Cause some people are in the rebuild or something like that. Like, they don't have a quarterback because their quarterback is like 40 years old. So they get one, and then by season 4, they finally have a quarterback or a defense, and then they're season 5 could be their big season, and then basically that's gone now. I mean, that happens.
Give me one example of that, please.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I don't know, I'm just saying, some people have like a good season last season.
I think people have aspirations of that, but they don't ever have a good record at the end of it.
We'll see. I'm not holding us to 4 seasons. I was just saying that I said that when I said that, it was like something. It might push us back. I'm hoping the new scouting invigorates us, man. As a league, we've been playing this same franchise mode for 13, I think was when it changed. Madden 13, maybe 14. 8.
Man,
I like
25.
the scouting aspect. I like the drafting, scouting, and all that stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think the thought of it sounds good. Like connecting to a player that you've scouted, you got this guy, and you brought him in for one of your sit downs. You're allowed to have some sit downs in there if you guys read. So you targeted this guy. You know what he's about. Nobody else sees him. He's like a 6th-round pick. You pick him up at the end of the 1st round, and he goes and he's exactly who you thought he was. And then he plays for you. That plays like he should. That seems exciting to me. That seems like what we want. Will that be delivered?
Nope.
I don't know.
Surprise, it won't.
Probably not.
Yeah, it will. Fuck that.
I think they're selling y'all a dream, and y'all are buying it.
I mean, if
EA
you're
could probably
playing
sell
MUT,
us all a
maybe.
timeshare.
That's all EA does is sell streams that we buy. We buy them. They're like discounted, and we just keep purchasing them. And then like every year we don't want to buy them. They're like, hey, this stream is even cheaper now. And I'm like, well, I already bought all the rest of them. Might as well buy this one too.
No, it's usually the opposite. It's usually more expensive. You know what I'm saying? Madden was more expensive this year. Hey man, guys, I think like we did a good job coming at this conversation, but how about we just kind of do it in a more fundamental style? Let's list our pros and let's list our cons and really see where the pendulum swings, because we're all a group of respectful guys, so we're not trying to like come down on each other, if you're one way or the other. Maybe we can kind of get more of an idea what we should do if we just broke it down into pros and cons, like how how well, just kind of bullet point this thing. I don't think a lot of guys, like, I'm not going to get up here and be like, man, you're stupid if you want to wait. No, because I think, like, I'm 60-40. Like, I feel like I can wait and be okay, but I could start tomorrow and be just fine as well, so maybe we try it that way and give it a shot, see what it looks like for the next probably like 10 minutes.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll go ahead and hop off. It's within 30 minutes of discussion. I feel like it's a good discussion. But yeah, Chuck, you want to go ahead and start out with pros? Jug, you got some?
Let's see, pros of starting or pros of waiting.
Two pros of starting right now. There's
I
really
mean,
one.
The pro of starting right now is just let's get getting it going.
I already got a trade in the process for Deshaun Watson. That's a pro.
Yeah, what I'm saying. No, I have Deshaun Watson. Let's wait. No,
he's automatically going to start #1 quarterback, no matter what team.
Yeah,
correct. He's gonna get a great quarterback regardless. July has had a history of Gronk and Patrick Peterson. Now he's got one already in the tuck. He doesn't have to worry about the other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have Brock no more, so I can't really trade him no more.
I always go after the big name. Yeah, he won't trade me nothing.
You want Hunter Henry or June Smith? I have those.
All right, what other positives we have? BM's over here talking crazy. Anybody? Any other positives?
I mean, we know what we're getting if we start now. I mean, I know that was kind of redundant, but with EA, we don't know what we're getting next month. It could be buggy. It could, have glitches. We know at least what we're getting right now, as disappointing as it is. We know what it is.
I don't think it'll be more buggy than what it is now.
I agree. I'm just like, with the system, I mean, we know for a fact that it'll work. We know what we have now works. I mean, as far as we know, they could put it into the game and, EA being EA, your scouts don't scout the way they're supposed to when you set them to auto scout or whatever. We can't really put anything past EA at this point.
That's actually a very good positive. I can't. That's
as much as I'm in favor of waiting, that is a factor.
Yeah. Don't we usually do at least one draft class with the real rookies and stuff like that?
We usually do.
But we
waited.
We lost there.
If we waited, we won it mainly because
I don't think
we'd want to try out the new scouting, honestly. So
yeah.
Whittier. So another pro would be we'd have Spencer Rattler and those guys.
Well, the new scout does work with custom classes, but
it does.
But that could also again be a bug. It could not work as well as it says it will.
Yeah. I think we wouldn't use them if we waited, just because I think it would be funner to just roll the dice and see what we come up with. few years. But that's another pro for starting now. If you like custom classes, we would probably use a custom class year one. I haven't made it yet. I haven't talked to anybody that would make it for me, which is probably would be half it, so I wouldn't know what it is. But I don't know what it is yet. So if that's something you like, if you like using real people, that's another pro starting now.
We'd be more likely to get to a 5th season.
We would get to it if we started Sun tomorrow. We decided to start 5th season would be expected, no matter what. It's not even a question at that point. We have to do that 5th season. So that might be a con if you don't like.
Depending on how people feel, that's either a pro or a con.
Yeah, but yeah, it would be a 5th season, and I definitely, like I said, I plan on holding people accountable that 5th season. We're talking about maybe making people lose teams if they don't play a certain amount of games or show that they tried to, or as long as they tried to. Maybe even not being a part of this league if they can't commit to what they promised. We're all here. We all know what we're signing up for. So that's another pro. Any other pros for the?
I got something. Look, when you have a topic, whether it's this, anything in life, right? Psychologically, you're beating it up so much. Do we stay? Do we go? Do we stay? Do we go? Do we wait? You beat it up so much that at one point you make it bigger than what it is in your mind psychologically. So if we start now, right, and we let it go, and the more days go by and we let it go, yeah, maybe it comes in October 15th, October 30th. You hear the rumors, wow, this is great, this is whatever, but you're already committed to what you did. So it's not going to be as intensifying to us. Oh, we lost, the drafting thing, this league sucks. It ain't going to be like that. We're just playing like we did last year, and it's okay. So like I said, I mean, I'm good either way, but we're putting so much emphasis on it that right now we're making it bigger than life, actually, which I know is important. The meeting's important. We got to be.
It's just important to us, man. We enjoy this. This is our pastime, man.
I know, and I'll play this game even if we were playing on, what that Nintendo with whatever it was with 3 dots. I'd play it. I used to play it, by the way, a lot.
All right.
So the bow.
Let's get some pros for
Jackson.
I feel like the cons are just the other one. So let's get some pros for waiting.
July, I do got a con for starting now.
Okay.
For any users that are in multiple leagues, if those other leagues wait, I mean, that's going to be something for other users having to bounce back and forth between multiple scouting systems. And I mean, as much as, you talk about activity, year 4, year 5, as much as we like to think that everybody would commit to what they said, that could impact later activity if people prefer the new system.
It's true.
Because they're just like, well, I don't want to bother with this old system anymore.
It's true.
Or it could be a turnoff for filling the league later.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah. That's actually a good one. That's a negative. That if we're trying to fill the league later, like, hey, we're on the new scouting system. If it was me, is a selling point. Like, oh shit, they're on year 4 and a new scouting system. Hell yeah, let's do this. So, yeah. So that's I'd say that's a pro for the new scouting system. Waiting. Another pro I've heard from y'all is that if you don't have a Series S, you got 3, maybe 3, depending on when the drops, 3-4 weeks to get it. If it's all that's promised, it's a game changer. To probably the worst part of Madden, the franchise. There's some bad parts, but I think it's the worst part. Contracts is bad too. Development, I think, would go out better. But what are some other positives from you for waiting, you guys?
I got one. I want to give one on each side because I don't want to sound about it. I think, we kind of hit it earlier, touched on it earlier with players kind of being what they're gonna be almost at that point. Like the rookies. Like there's always every year, almost every single year, there's a breakout rookie or a breakout player that's better than what anyone could have expected when it comes to their game in the NFL. The Tyreek Hills of the world, who we didn't we didn't expect him to be as good as he was his first year. We didn't expect a lot of guys to be as good as they were their first year, and their ratings will be outdated by then, and it'll be just it will kind of get the experience of what's really going on and what Madden's kind of wanted to give us, essentially. So I think that's a key thing, you know what I'm saying, for especially for certain rosters, that have big injuries.
Especially for the Vikings.
No, we're going down.
Because
We're all-
the Packers with Aaron Rodgers is doing shit,
Oh my god.
we're going down.
Let's not talk about it, please. Aaron Rodgers. Please. Let's not talk about it.
I have Aaron Rodgers, Dante Adams, and Adam Jones on my fantasy football. I'm already pissed off. Don't even.
Hey,
talk
no
about
bullshit.
that.
I got Aaron Jones and fucking Aaron Rodgers too, and they fucked me the first.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I sure started Trevor Lawrence, my backup quarterback. He had actually a good game. Like Doug said, like I said earlier, where certain players might break out and they might go up a little bit on the ratings, and some players are going a little bit down. And injuries also too. Like someone got hurt, the injuries dropped down, so they should kind of be injury prone. So it's like Gronk back in the day, he was injury prone when he got hit sometimes, and now he played a whole season healthy, so he should be a little bit higher probably. I mean, but certain things are going to happen. I mean, the ratings are going to change a little bit, not as huge, but a little bit.
It's true. We will
Like,
have better
players
ratings. Closer to real life ratings. All right. Well, I think we've went over in detail everything. As Diego had said, we probably have made this huger than it should have been or it could be. But it is what it is. It's what we do. It's our pastime, man. I'll do this for fun. This is, what we do. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm out of my brace. Got 3 more weeks and then I'll go back to work. So
Congratulations.
finally healed ish. So, but yeah. Me, Josh, and Rabbit, we'll let Rabbit watch this. Me and Josh are a part of this, and we'll make a decision, man. Don't feel it's a slight one way or the other towards you guys. I'm still pretty 50-50. So we'll make a decision though, because I feel like we're not gonna pull an EA and have us waiting until we decide. I think Sunday deadline for us, and we'll make a decision by tomorrow what to do. So we'll either start tomorrow or we'll wait and see what happens. All right, guys.
All right.
Appreciate y'all being a part of the conversation.
Anybody want to play some threes?
Good night.
I want to play some threes, Josh.